Did Iran fail significantly in their operation against Israel? This is the question we aim to tackle in our comprehensive report today. Before we delve into the present, a grasp of the historical context that has largely shaped the volatile landscape we see today is crucial. The conflict between Iran and Israel, two central entities in the Middle East, traces its roots back to the mid-20th century. With ideological, political, and territorial disagreements at its core, this conflict has only magnified over the years. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Vision Vibes, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of El Israel versus El Iran, the unseen war. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you're in the right place to learn something new and exciting. We find ourselves in the midst of a complex geopolitical ballet where the United States, Iran, and Israel are the principal dancers. The United States, with its long-standing presence and strategic interest in the Middle East, has consistently influenced the region's dynamics. Its unwavering support for Israel, both militarily and diplomatically, stands as a testament to this fact. Recently, the storyline took a dramatic twist. The theater of war was Syria, whose strategic location and internal instability have made it a sought-after piece on the chessboard of Middle Eastern geopolitics. Israel, in a daring move, conducted a lethal bombardment on an Iranian consulate in Syria, marking a significant heightening in the ongoing covert war between these two nations. But Iran was not one to remain passive. In retaliation, it launched drones towards Israel. The drones used were Ababil-T, known for their agility and versatility in the battlefield. The targeted area was the northern region of Israel, specifically the Golan Heights. However, their attempt was thwarted by the United States, who acted promptly by intercepting and shooting them down. The U.S., as per its long-standing commitment to the defense of Israel, justified its intervention by stating that it was a necessary step to prevent any potential escalation and loss of life. This incident served not only to reaffirm the U.S.'s unwavering support for Israel's security, but also to highlight the tangled and intricate nature of these geopolitical dances. Stage has been set, the actors are in places, and the world watches with bated breath. Now let's delve deeper into these recent events and their wider implications. The catalyst for the current conflict was an Israeli strike on an Iranian diplomatic facility in Syria. The Israeli attack was no ordinary skirmish. It was a calculated move that resulted in the deaths of several high-ranking Iranian military officials. This included two generals from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, marking a significant escalation in the shadow war that has been simmering between Israel and Iran for years. This strike wasn't a random act of aggression. It was a targeted attack on an official Iranian government-affiliated site. The repercussions of this are far-reaching, and the fact that it happened on Syrian soil adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate web of regional politics. The fallout from the strike is still unfolding, but what's clear is that it has turned up the heat in the Middle East. The question on everyone's mind now is, what happens next? The answer isn't straightforward given the volatile and unpredictable nature of the region's politics. But one thing is certain: this is a significant escalation in a shadow war that has been ongoing for years. On one hand, we have Israel, a nation that has long been on the front line of Middle Eastern conflicts, and on the other, Iran, a country with its own ambitions and a history of tensions with Israel. The strike has put these two regional powers on a collision course, and the fallout could have far-reaching implications. And then, there's the United States, an ally of Israel that finds itself in a precarious position. American troops are stationed throughout the region, and the risk to these forces is real and significant. The U.S. has expressed concern for the safety of its forces, and rightly so. The situation is volatile, and the potential for escalation is high. In the midst of this, one thing is clear: the Israeli strike has significantly heightened tensions. Iran has vowed revenge and harsh retaliation, and the world watches with bated breath. What comes next could very well shape the future of the Middle East. The strike has significantly heightened tensions in the Middle East, with Iran vowing revenge and harsh retaliation. Let's take a closer look at the Israeli strike on the Iranian diplomatic facility in Syria. This was a well-planned, meticulously executed operation carried out by the Israeli Defense Forces. It was not an impulsive act of aggression, but a calculated move that had been in the planning stages for some time. The strike targeted an official Iranian government-affiliated site, which in itself is a significant escalation. The casualties of this attack were not random. They were high-ranking Iranian military officials, including 2 generals from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This was a clear message from Israel, a show of force indicating that they were willing to strike at the very heart of the Iranian military establishment. Now let's talk about the implications of this strike. It wasn't just a blow to the Iranian military, it was an attack on an official Iranian government-affiliated site. This is a significant escalation, one that could potentially lead to a full-blown conflict. The fact that this happened on Syrian soil adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate web of regional politics. Syria, a key ally of Iran in the region, could potentially be drawn into the conflict, adding yet another dimension to this already volatile situation. In conclusion, this detailed analysis provides a deeper understanding of the Israeli strike and its consequences. It wasn't just an attack on a military target, it was a strategic move designed to cripple the Iranian military establishment and send a clear message to the Iranian government and the rest of the world. What happens next is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The stakes have been raised, and the Middle East is once again on the brink of a major conflict. In retaliation, Iran launched a barrage of drones towards Israel. This wasn't a mere knee-jerk reaction, it was a calculated move, a display of resistance and retaliation. The Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, a faction of Iran's armed forces, claimed responsibility for the onslaught of drones and missiles. They weren't about to let the strike go unanswered. Now let's delve a bit deeper into this. Iran's response was a direct counter to the Israeli strike on their consulate in Syria. This wasn't just about retaliation, it was about sending a powerful message, broadcasting to the world that they were capable of defending their interests and standing up to perceived injustices. And the choice of weapon? Drones. Unmanned, remotely controlled, and capable of carrying out precision strikes. These aren't your everyday hobby drones. These are advanced machines equipped with lethal capabilities. The drone barrage was a clear demonstration of Iran's technological prowess and military might. But why Israel? Well, the answer lies in the long-standing, complex relationship between the two nations. Iran and Israel have been locked in a shadow war for years, a war characterized by covert operations, proxy battles, and mutual animosity. This drone attack was just the latest chapter in their ongoing conflict. However, it's important to remember that every action has consequences. In launching this drone attack, Iran risked escalating the situation further, potentially drawing in other regional and global powers. It was a risky move, a high-stakes gamble. But did it pay off? Well, that's where things get interesting. However, Iran's response did not go as planned. Despite their best efforts, the drone attack fell short of its intended impact. But why? What went wrong? And what does it mean for the future of this shadow war? We'll delve into that in the next scene. Let's delve deeper into Iran's retaliation. The choice of drones as the weapon of choice is a significant one. These aren't your everyday drones, but sophisticated machines that signify Iran's technological prowess. Their use in this attack illustrates Iran's ability to conduct precise, remotely controlled strikes. This not only showcases their military capabilities, but also underscores their strategic approach to warfare. The drones used in this attack are advanced pieces of technology capable of carrying out precision strikes. They are armed with lethal capabilities, making them formidable weapons in any conflict. But let's examine the effectiveness of Iran's response. Despite Iran's best efforts, the drone attacks did not have the desired impact. The US's intervention and swift action in shooting down the drones resulted in a significant setback for Iran. However, this does not necessarily signify a loss for Iran. Their response, despite its shortcomings, has sent a clear message to the world. It has demonstrated their resolve and their willingness to stand up against perceived injustices. It has also highlighted their technological and military capabilities. Despite the setback, Iran's response has demonstrated its resolve and capabilities. This attack, though unsuccessful, has added a new dimension to the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel. It has shown that Iran is not afraid to retaliate when provoked, and that it has the means to do so. However, the effectiveness of their response and the implications of their actions remain to be seen as the situation continues to unfold. Let's pause the narrative for a moment and take a closer look at the drones used by Iran in their retaliation. These aren't your everyday hobby drones that you might see at a park. These are sophisticated pieces of machinery equipped with the latest technology and designed for precision and lethality. But what exactly makes these drones so powerful? Firstly, the drones used by Iran are a testament to their technological advancements in warfare. These drones are not only capable of long-range operations, but also equipped with advanced surveillance systems, enabling them to gather crucial data from the battlefield. This level of sophistication and capability showcases Iran's significant strides in military technology. Next, we see the precision of these drones. They are capable of carrying out precise strikes, thus demonstrating Iran's strategic approach to warfare. This precision is achieved through advanced navigation systems and high-tech targeting capabilities. It's not just about causing damage, it's about causing the right damage at the right time and place. Finally, the use of drones also signifies a shift in warfare tactics, with more emphasis on remote and unmanned operations. This shift is largely due to the changing nature of warfare and the increasing importance of minimizing human losses. By using drones, Iran can conduct strikes without putting their personnel at risk. In conclusion, despite the setback with the US intervention, the use of advanced drones in Iran's response has showcased their technological capabilities in warfare. It's a clear signal that Iran is not only ready to stand up to its adversaries but also equipped with the technology to do so effectively. But as we move forward, we'll see how this drone technology plays a role in the evolving dynamics of this conflict. Stepping back from the battlefield, let's take a look at the broader picture. The conflict between Iran and Israel, and the subsequent involvement of the United States, has implications far beyond the immediate impacts. Firstly, we need to consider the regional balance of power. How does this conflict affect the delicate equilibrium in the Middle East? Iran's retaliation and the display of its advanced drone technology underscore its military prowess, making neighboring countries wary. On the other hand, the swift intervention by the US also reasserts its commitment to maintaining stability in the region. It's a complex game of chess, where every move can tip the balance. Next, we delve into the international response. How has the world reacted to this escalation? The United Nations, along with other international bodies, has called for restraint, emphasizing the importance of dialogue over conflict. It's not just about the physical damage, but also the potential to destabilize the already volatile geopolitical landscape. Finally, we must consider the implications for future conflicts. What does this mean for the future of warfare? The use of drones by Iran and the subsequent response by the US highlights the increasing reliance on technology in modern warfare. This shift towards remote and unmanned operations could set a precedent for future conflicts. In conclusion, this conflict is not an isolated incident. It's a complex, multifaceted issue with far-reaching implications. And as we move forward, it's crucial to keep an eye on these larger geopolitical ramifications. Let's delve deeper into the ripple effect of this conflict, specifically its impact on the regional balance of power. The tension between Israel and Iran has always been a significant factor in the Middle East's geopolitical landscape. However, this recent escalation has the potential to significantly disrupt the established equilibrium. But how exactly does this conflict affect the delicate power dynamics in the region? Firstly, we see the power dynamics between Israel, Iran, and their respective allies being tested. Iran's display of advanced drone technology and Israel's firm stance against the threat can lead to a shift in alliances and partnerships. Will we see countries aligning more firmly along these lines of conflict? Secondly, the role of external powers in this conflict cannot be overlooked. The United States, an enduring ally of Israel, demonstrated its commitment by intervening decisively. This intervention was not just a show of camaraderie, but a statement of the US's dedication to maintaining stability in the region. On the other hand, Russia, a known ally of Iran, has been relatively silent. Will this conflict prompt a more active involvement from them? Concluding, the balance of power in the Middle East is a delicate and complex issue, and this conflict has the potential to significantly disrupt it. The implications of this conflict are far-reaching, altering alliances and redefining power dynamics. As we continue to monitor the situation, it's crucial to understand these shifts and their potential impact on the region's stability. Beyond the immediate players in the conflict, the international community has been closely watching the tension between Israel and Iran. Major global powers and international organizations have been grappling with the implications of this conflict. The United Nations in particular has voiced concerns over the potential for escalation and the devastating humanitarian consequences. But what has been the response of these global actors? The European Union has called for dialogue and de-escalation, emphasizing the importance of diplomacy in resolving the conflict. China, another major player, has remained relatively neutral, urging all parties to exercise restraint. These calls for peace and stability are crucial in preventing the conflict from escalating further. But what about the potential for international mediation or intervention? The United Nations has a history of mediating in conflicts, but it remains to be seen if they will step in this time. Could we see a UN peacekeeping mission in the Middle East, or will the conflict continue unchecked? Concluding, the international response to this conflict will play a crucial role in determining its outcome. As we observe the situation, it's important to pay attention to these international reactions and their potential to influence the trajectory of the conflict. As we delve deeper into the intricate web of this conflict, we cannot ignore the changing face of warfare that it presents. The use of drones by Iran in this conflict signifies a shift in warfare tactics. In the modern era, we are witnessing an increasing reliance on technology in warfare. The drones, unmanned and remotely controlled, represent a new era of warfare, where human soldiers can be replaced by machines, and battles can be fought from thousands of miles away. The implications for future conflicts are immense. This shift towards remote and unmanned operations could lead to a new form of arms race, a race for superior drone technology. The potential for escalation is high, and the international community must be prepared for this new reality. As we've seen in this conflict, drones can be potent weapons, capable of causing significant damage. But they also carry risks, from collateral damage to the potential for misuse by non-state actors. The future of warfare is likely to be heavily influenced by technological advancements, as demonstrated by this conflict. As we move forward, it's crucial to consider the ethical, legal, and strategic implications of this shift. This isn't just about Israel and Iran, it's about the future of international security. As we continue to observe this unfolding conflict, let's keep an eye on the larger picture, the evolution of warfare and its implications for global peace and security. The US military intervened, shooting down the drones launched by Iran towards Israel. The United States, an enduring ally of Israel, stepped in decisively to neutralize the Iranian threat. This was no simple act of international camaraderie. Rather, it was a statement of the US's commitment to safeguarding its allies and its own forces in the region. It's important to understand that the US's action was not an offensive strike against Iran. In fact, President Biden made it clear that the US would not participate in offensive strikes against Iran. This was a defensive move, a reaction to the Iranian drone attack aimed at Israel. The US military's intervention was a measured and strategic response, designed to protect and defend, not to provoke or escalate the situation. The United States' action also served as an emphatic reaffirmation of its support for Israel's defense. It sent a clear message to Iran and the rest of the world. The United States stands by its allies and will not hesitate to act in their defense. This demonstration of solidarity was a powerful counter to the Iranian aggression, and it underscored the strength of the US-Israel alliance. Moreover, the US intervention was not just about protecting Israel. It was also about safeguarding American forces in the region. The Defense Secretary Austin emphasized the US's commitment to the safety of its forces. This commitment is not to be taken lightly. The United States has a significant military presence in the Middle East, and any threat to its forces is met with swift and decisive action. In conclusion, the intervention of the US military was a pivotal moment in this conflict. It not only halted the Iranian drone attack but also reinforced the United States' dedication to its allies and its own forces. This intervention was a significant setback for Iran. Indeed, it was a clear demonstration of the consequences of challenging the might and resolve of the United States and its allies. The aftermath of these events has left the region in a state of heightened tension. The Middle East, a perpetually simmering cauldron of geopolitical strife, now teeters on the brink of further conflict, its future as uncertain as it is fraught with potential peril. The consequences of these actions are far-reaching. Israel's strike on the Iranian consulate in Syria, the subsequent retaliation from Iran, and the US's decisive intervention have set a new milestone in the ongoing shadow war between these nations. The potential implications of these events loom large, casting a long shadow over an already tense region. The possibility of further escalation and retaliation from both Iran and Israel cannot be understated. Iran, having lost multiple senior military officials in the Israeli strike, has vowed revenge and harsh retaliation. Their promise of retribution, coupled with their nearing the amount of enriched uranium needed for a nuclear bomb, paints a grim picture of the potential future. On the other hand, Israel, having demonstrated its willingness to engage in preemptive strikes, is likely to remain on high alert. ready to act in defense of its sovereignty and people. This cycle of action and reaction, of strike and counterstrike, risks spiraling into a full-blown conflict with potentially devastating consequences for the region and beyond. Meanwhile, the United States, a key player in this intricate geopolitical dance, has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Israel's defense while concurrently seeking to avoid conflict with Iran. This balancing act reflects the complexity of the situation and the delicate nature of the U.S.'s role in the region. However, the U.S.'s stance may also serve as a deterrent to further escalation, signifying to all involved parties that any attempt to tip the scales towards outright conflict may be met with decisive intervention. This, in turn, could potentially encourage diplomatic solutions over military ones, fostering an environment conducive to negotiation and de-escalation. The situation remains volatile, with fears of further escalation. As we navigate these uncertain times, the hope is that diplomacy and dialogue will prevail over discord and destruction. Only time will tell. So, did Iran fail badly in their operation against Israel? As we've discussed, Iran's drone operation aimed at Israel was largely unsuccessful due to the swift intervention of the United States military. The U.S.'s commitment to protecting its forces and supporting Israel's defense was put to the test, and it was a test they passed with flying colors. The failure of this operation has left Iran in a challenging position. On one hand, the lack of success could be seen as a setback, potentially impacting Iran's standing on the global stage. On the other hand, it could also serve as a catalyst for Iran to rethink its strategies and tactics, possibly leading to a more considerable escalation in the future. The situation in the Middle East is a complex one, with countless factors at play. The regional dynamics have shifted since the 2015 nuclear deal, and geopolitical factors, such as the war in Ukraine, continue to influence the context of the Iran-US talks. So, while Iran's operation may not have gone as planned, it's essential to remember that this is just one part of a much larger picture. The potential for further escalation and retaliation from both Iran and Israel makes this a situation that the world will be watching closely. While it's clear that Iran's operation didn't go as planned, the potential for further escalation makes this a situation to watch closely. Thank you for tuning into our report. That's all for today, folks. Remember to keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep pushing your limits. Until next time, take care and happy Israel versus Iran, the unseen war. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe for more related videos like this, like the video which will help to motivate us, and share the video with friends and family.